All right, so today I want to talk a little bit about the latest 4.17 release for the ArcGIS API for JavaScript. So one of the really cool features that come out of the API this past couple of releases has been the improvements to the feature layer, right? It's the main layer in the API. There's constantly work being done to improve performance with it. And in this particular release, we have the improved performance quite a bit to be able to process a large amount of data, right? So they have a nice animated GIF right here, kind of showing you how this kind of works. And I want to go back to something I worked on before to kind of give you an idea of the improvement there. So some of you might recognize this map. This is based off of an article I wrote about how you can take, I think it's 2.2 million features of named places in the US. And because at the time you couldn't really display 2.2 million points on a map, the article talked about how you can create raster tiles from the features, and then use the raster tiles for the larger scales. And then as you zoom in, at some point, you're going to turn on the feature layer, which is right here. And now we're dealing with the actual features here, right? And this really kind of helps improve performance for your apps. And raster tiles are still great for something like this where the data is not changing often. They're still fast. But with the improvements in the API, we could probably get away with showing a bit more. So here is the web map that is making up that app. Here is the layer, which is the US place names, which is this one here. So if we look at this here and we go to data, we can see that there are, about almost 2.3 million features in the layer. That's quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the item ID here. Copy that. Let's go to this new map I got going here. Sorry, my camera is a little shaky here. I need to find a way to steady that camera. Okay. Let's create a new feature layer. Let's go to portal item. ID. Sell some. Okay, and then I'm just going to add this to the map. Second there. So one thing to note, when I published this service, so it would work nicely in the web map and everything, the actual layer for the service has min and max scale, so it won't actually display if you're out scale. Damn it, I always forget. Forget my scales. If I am zoomed in on the map, the features show up. If I'm zoomed out on the map, the features will not show up. So if you hit a layer like that, what you can do is you can go ahead and adjust those yourself. So I'll say min scale 0, max scale 0. Come on. Mac. There's no Mac. Max scale 0. Sorry. Typos. And there we go. So, we're zoomed in a bit. So that data, it's not 2 million features here. But let's go ahead and start zooming out. How fast that data is coming in. This is still quite a bit of data showing up here. That's pretty fast. Okay, so let's zoom out to like state level. Okay, now you see it's having to work a bit. It's pulling in quite a bit of data. We're starting to pull into those 2.2 million features there. We got like half the US getting loaded here. Got a little pocket getting loaded over here. That is a lot of points getting mashed in there. Plus, you can't, don't forget, I've got this funky renderer on here too with the firefly symbols, of course. So firefly symbols take a bit more work to render. If you're doing a map with like millions of features, a couple million features, maybe don't use firefly like my dumbass here. It's just a bit more work to do. Go with some simpler points if you need to display that much data. And actually, it's probably better to, well, I don't know for this map, but most data would probably be better to go ahead and cluster it in some way. All right. And it's still going. It's trying to load it. At this point, I'm probably network bogged because there are probably people in my house watching Netflix at this time. But yeah, you get the idea here. So, I mean, this is ridiculously fast. I mean, this is a huge improvement in performance. All right, so that's just one big improvement with the 4.17 release of the API, which is working with the feature layers, the parsing of the data, and be able to bring in a larger amount of data and display it on the map.